Welcome to the Federal Aviation Administration's New York Community Engagement video series. This video is the second in a series and will provide a basic explanation of how the FAA's air traffic control system works in the New York area. This video explains the New York airspace and flight procedures with a focus on the LaGuardia Airport TNNIS departure procedure and aircraft operations at LaGuardia Airport and John F. Kennedy International Airport. Runway selection at each airport is determined from several factors. Wind direction, weather, and runway availability conditions are determining factors. There are also operational considerations. Airports in the New York airspace operate dependently upon each other due to their proximity. Therefore, when one airport changes its runway configuration, other airports may also need to change the runways in use. Air traffic controllers ensure airplanes are safely separated while maintaining an efficient flow of air traffic. Accomplishing this task is complex, labor-intensive, and requires great precision. The New York-New Jersey metro area includes more than 50 airports, including Newark Liberty International Airport, John F. Kennedy International Airport, and LaGuardia Airports. LaGuardia Airport has two runways, runway 422 and runway 1331. Aircraft that depart runway 13 fly the runway heading of 130 degrees, then turn north or south based on the flight procedure used. Aircraft that depart runway 13 must turn in order to maintain separation from JFK air traffic, including arrivals on a straight approach on runway 22 left and/or runway 22 right. Maintaining separation ensures aircraft maintain required safe distances from each other, vertically or laterally. A flight procedure is a predetermined route in the sky that keeps flights clear of obstacles and terrain, providing safe passage through the skies. When used in combination with other procedures, it may also safely segregate air traffic flight paths from each other. Conventional navigation procedures use radio frequency signals generated from ground-based equipment. Satellite-based navigation, called area navigation or RNAV, allows an aircraft to use virtual navigational waypoints. The aircraft's flight management system adjusts for flight conditions to keep aircraft on track. The use of satellite-based procedures ensures aircraft make use of precision flight paths, which are automatic, safe, and predictable. Conventional and satellite-based departure procedures are both used for runway 13 at LaGuardia. Conventional procedures, such as the Flushing and Whitestone climbs, turn aircraft to the north, while the Coney and Maspeth climbs turn aircraft southbound. Satellite-based or RNAV procedures include the TNNIS Climb that turn aircraft to the north, and the Goldman and Nathan climbs that turn aircraft to the south. These satellite-based procedures are overlays of the conventional procedures, which provides better flight path precision and predictability. This allows for enhanced procedural separation between aircraft, which also increases safety. These procedures can be used at any given time based on runway configuration, wind direction, and operational needs. Air traffic control uses all climbs to maximize operational efficiency, which reduces delays and disperses noise when LaGuardia is not restricted to TNNIS departures. Prior to 2007, the majority of aircraft at JFK were primarily either arriving or departing at one time, called arrival or departure banks. Between 2007 and 2012, airlines seeking to serve passenger demand that could not be served at LaGuardia began scheduling additional flights at JFK. As a result, JFK air traffic increased considerably, and aircraft started arriving and departing at the same time, creating a rush hour in the sky. Aircraft rush hours are managed by ground delay programs, holding aircraft on the ground at airports across the country until there is room to put them into the sky. Just like a parking lot, airports eventually fill up, so ground delay programs can only manage aircraft volume up to a certain point. In response to these operational demands, the TNNIS departure procedure was first implemented in 2011 for aircraft departing from LaGuardia. Often called the TNNIS Climb, this procedure allows aircraft departing on runway 13 to turn north while maintaining the safe separation of LaGuardia departures from JFK arrivals. This process of separation is referred to as deconfliction. Before the TNNIS procedure, aircraft departing from LaGuardia on runway 13 and turning north would use the Whitestone or Flushing climbs. These conventional procedures do not provide the added safety enhancements that RNAV procedures provide, thereby requiring additional air traffic controller guidance to maintain separation standards. Historically, the TNNIS Climb was designed as an overlay of the Flushing Climb, which allowed aircraft to depart LaGuardia using runway 13, while JFK arrivals were landing runway 13 using the ILS. The original TNNIS overlay was used in the same manner as the Flushing Climb. When JFK is using the ILS runway 13 left approach, during match play at the U.S. Open by agreement with the City of New York, when strong winds make the Whitestone climb inadvisable. Once implemented, it was apparent that this more predictable satellite-based route had operational benefits for both LaGuardia and JFK airports. To help deconflict LaGuardia and JFK traffic and manage the rush hour in the sky, FAA then added the use of the TNNIS Climb when JFK uses one of the following runway configurations. When aircraft are using the ILS runway 22 left for arrivals and runway 22 right for departures. When aircraft are using the ILS runway 22 left for arrivals and runways 22 right and 31 left for departures. When aircraft are using the ILS runways 22 left and 22 right for arrivals and runway 22 right for departures. When aircraft are using the ILS runways 22 left and 22 right for arrivals and runways 22 right and 31 left for departures. When aircraft are using the ILS runways 22 left and 22 right for arrivals and runway 31 left for departures. Over the years, the TNNIS Climb has enhanced both safety and efficiency. LaGuardia and JFK airports share an airspace called the Belmont airspace. This airspace is shared between controllers working LaGuardia airplanes and/or JFK airplanes, depending on the airport configuration. When aircraft are landing at JFK on a straight approach on runway 22 left and/or runway 22 right, the Belmont airspace belongs to the JFK air traffic controllers. LaGuardia departures cannot enter the Belmont airspace. The TNNIS Climb is the only procedure for aircraft turning north that ensures LaGuardia departures from runway 13 remain clear of the Belmont airspace. Without use of the TNNIS procedure, aircraft would not be able to depart LaGuardia on runway 13, while JFK arrivals were landing on a straight approach on runway 22 left and/or runway 22 right. This would mean aircraft would stay on the ground longer waiting to depart, causing delays and pushing aircraft departures and noise into nighttime hours. Arriving aircraft would be delayed, using a ground delay program from entering the New York airspace, causing a domino effect of delays at other airports throughout the national airspace system. Air traffic control will continue to use the TNNIS and other procedures to safely and efficiently manage the New York airspace. The FAA is continually looking for ways to engage with the community, airlines, and pilots to manage the effects of noise on surrounding communities while maintaining the safest air traffic system in the world. Flight procedures and separation standards are used to maintain the safe and efficient flow of aircraft in the air and on the ground. This video provides a basic understanding of how flight procedures work in the New York and New Jersey metro airspace. For more information and additional videos about the New York airspace, please visit our website.